Right. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. So let's just check your legs. Make sure you're comfortably cross-legged, or if you've got your feet flat on the floor, make sure they're parallel. And coccyx slightly raised. And let's just lengthen our spine. Just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of white light. And then there's maybe somebody just above our head, very gently lengthening the spine. Let's put some air in between our vertebrae to give us some space. Head slightly tipped forward, eyes down, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. The hands in the meditation mudra, thumbs touching. And just go to the crown of the head and just relax our scalp again. We just notice how then that relaxes the face, the nose, the eyes, the cheeks, the temples, the ears, the jaw. Relax the mouth. Check the back of the head, back of the neck. And relax your shoulders. Relax your chest. Relax your belly. Just let it go. The arms, hands, fingers, legs and feet and toes. And just check you haven't slumped. There are natural curves in the spine. Just try and be sort of shoulders over the hips, spine lengthened. So we're sitting in a nice alert position. Relaxed, focused. So just bring the mind to the breath. Just very gently breathing in. Just notice as you breathe in just the flow, the sensation of the cool air passing through the outside of the nostrils. Then as you breathe out, sensation of slightly warmer air breathing out as you breathe out. Let's just bring our mind to the same place where our body is. I just think we're doing this Vajrasattva meditation tonight, so we can continue to work on our purification, all our negative seeds, getting rid of them, creating merit, so we can be of benefit to others eventually when we attain enlightenment. So let's just reflect on our day. How's it been? If there's anything we're hanging on to, maybe just let it go. Let it pass. Try not to follow any stories. Just breathing in and breathing out. If you're hearing any sounds outside, just allow them to be there. Try not to allow the mind to wander off and investigate what's happening. Bring the mind back to the breath. So we just remind ourselves again, there's no negativity that cannot be purified. So it's kind of a comforting thought. So we then focus again on our 4 opponent powers in this practice of Vajrasattva purification. The first of these being regret. So just sincerely regret from the depths of our heart anything we've done to harm any living being on this day, this week, this year, this life, perhaps of past lives. So think of something specific, some specific actions of both body and speech. There might be something that's a recurring theme. And then just in general regret anything you've done to harm. So our logic of regretting is based on this idea of this logic of karma. So if we recall that we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, having harmed others, we will necessarily, in time, experience suffering. So we don't like suffering. We're very uncomfortable with it. So we don't want that. So what we want to do here is remove the karmic seeds before they ripen. So these are karmic seeds that we planted somewhere down along the line we may not even remember. It's the other thing, we never know when they're going to ripen. So certain causes and conditions need to come into place, need to come together. So what we're doing with this practice is circumventing this. Getting rid of these seeds, we're pulling them out before the causes and conditions have a chance for them to ripen. So we regret all these delusions like anger and attachment that kind of motivate us to harm others. So we just think, I'm sick of all this suffering. So we think, okay, so now what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So this is refuge. We rely on, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. So we're just reminding ourselves that we're not asking for forgiveness here. We're looking for these methods to heal ourselves. So we're relying on the methods of, in this case, Guru Vajrasattva. So just visualize Vajrasattva on the crown of your head. So you can imagine this is the mind of your Guru, your Lama, your teacher, your mentor, if you have one. He's made of facing the same direction as we are, manifesting in this aspect of Guru Vajrasattva for our benefit. So you imagine this blissful, radiant light being above the crown of your head. And you imagine light is going out in all directions and brilliant. So if we were actually able to see this Buddha, if he was in front of us, we'd probably barely be able to open our eyes. The light would be so bright. It's translucent, this image above us. So he's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus or a colored lotus. In the picture that we have, the lotus is multicolored. And Guru Vajrasattva's face is radiant and beautiful. He has these lotus-like eyes, looking at us with this unbelievable compassion and simultaneously looking at all the sentient beings around us in the same way, without any judgment. He knows everything we've done, doesn't care, loves us anyway. His mouth is very sweet, this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, the left holding the bell, which represents wisdom. The right is holding a Vajra, representing the indestructibility of compassion. Their being crossed represents the union of these two. This symbolizes enlightenment. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So there's this section here, compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So these are the very beings we have harmed and who have harmed us. So we want to develop compassion for them. So think particularly of somebody you've harmed recently, maybe in the past. Could be a sentient being as well, and then just generally. And then all beings we have harmed since beginningless time. And then remember these folk who have harmed you. We have compassion for them because they will suffer in the future. So we think about the strong aspiration, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the third opponent power, the power of the remedy. So this is the actual medicine. This is the practice that we're doing. So first of all, we're doing the purification of the body. So just imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending this powerful white nectar from his heart, arcing around and entering us through our crown, pouring into our entire body, filling us completely with this blissful, radiant nectar. So imagine it just keeps coming and forces out of our lower orifices all the harm we have ever done to any living being with our body in the form of this inky black liquid. And this kind of pours out of us and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dino Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mepe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mepe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. And then just feel delighted that all the harm that we have ever done to any sentient being with our body is completely purified. And just think that there's no way we could do anything other than be of benefit with our bodies. So next is the purification of our speech. So just visualize again, just imagine Guru Vajrasattva very happily sending this powerful nectar, white, blissful, radiant white nectar from his heart chakra. It arcs around and forcefully enters our crown and fills our entire body. So you can imagine this time though, forcing up to the top of our body all the negativities of our speech. So these negativities of our speech are just overflowing and disappearing into space, not one atom left. So LAMA YESHE uses this really nice image. It's like when you turn on the tap in a sink and fill up a glass that's dirty, all the junk in the glass comes to the top and just flows out. So this is how it is with this particular visualization as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Now think how amazing, all my speech is completely purified. Not possible to do anything other than be of benefit to any sentient being with my speech. So every time I open my mouth, only sweet sounds come out that are beneficial to others. So purification of the mind. So just visualize again, imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful beams of white light from his heart chakra, which arc around and enter your chakra, heart chakra, crown chakra, filling your entire being. So just imagine you're filled with this blissful, radiant white light. So as this light hits your heart chakra, you can imagine all the negativities, all the delusions are completely dispelled, gone. And LAMA YESHE says, just as you walk into a room and switch on a light and the darkness is dispelled, same here. The light hits your heart, the delusions are dispelled. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So now just be delighted that all your delusions, this is the source of our own suffering, why we cause harm to others with our body and speech, all our anger and attachment, completely gone, finished, purified. So now think there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom, bliss, compassion. So now we purify even the lightest imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So this time imagine Guru Vajrasattva sending light and nectar. And so if it's easy for you to visualize the previous 3 visualizations simultaneously, if it's not, just visualize light and nectar coming, completely eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. It's a bit like once you've removed the garlic from a jar, you still need to remove the smell. It's a little bit like that. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, supokaya mebowa, anarakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, supokaya mebowa, anarakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tatakata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dira mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, supokaya mebowa, anarakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now just feel you're completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So now the fourth opponent power is the power of resolved. So this is just such a crucial step in this purification practice. This is the determination not to harm with our body, speech, and our mind again. So without this determination, without this kind of resolution, we're going to keep following the same old patterns. We're going to keep falling back down into that hole. So this determination, this aspiration not to harm again, is sort of like a beacon that guides us, guides our body, catches our speech before it falls out of our mouth, and catches the negative thoughts that rise in our mind. And it kind of channels them in new directions. So as Lama Zopa Rinpoche says, everything exists on the tip of the wish, the aspiration. So we want to not harm ourselves and others any longer. We really want that. I don't believe anybody really wants to harm other people. It's just habit. So think of something specific that maybe you'd like to work on and a realistic timeline. So whether it's 30 seconds, 5 minutes, a day, overnight is easy because you'll be sleeping. Just something. Just make a determination. Think of something now. And just decide that we're going to refrain from doing this, whatever the realistic timeline is, and then in general make a vow to make an effort to try and avoid all these other things in the future. And what you'll start to find is that we continually, day after day after day, reminding ourselves to catch our negativities, these things that harm ourselves and others. You'll find that what happens is the opportunity for these things to arise becomes less and less. It's kind of interesting. Gives us the strength to change this determination. So next, Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, no creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. There is no negative karma created. So just place your mind in that emptiness for a little while. So in this way, we're looking at all phenomena as being empty, as not existing from their own side. The way things appear to us through our own particular and specific lens is not the way they necessarily are. It's good to remind ourselves of that. We have a couple of minutes, so let's just meditate as for whatever level we understand emptiness, we try and meditate on it. If the mind starts to wander, just bring the mind back to the breath, just breathing in and breathing out. Mind back to the breath. Okay, now we can dedicate all the merit, this positive energy we have created by doing this purification practice to all living beings. Also dedicate to anybody you know who's right now suffering, if they're mentally suffering, physically suffering. Perhaps there's someone who's passed away that you're recalling. Dedicate the practice for them. Doesn't matter how long ago. And just think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's do the 4 immeasurable thoughts. How immeasurable equanimity, how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to abide in equanimity, free from the closeness of attachment and the distance of hatred. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Immeasurable loving kindness, how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to achieve Buddhahood. May they achieve Buddhahood. I myself will cause them to achieve Buddhahood. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Immeasurable compassion, how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they be free from suffering and its causes. I myself will cause them to be free from suffering and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Immeasurable joyfulness, so how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were never separated from the happiness of higher rebirth and liberation. May they never be separated from these. I myself will cause them never to be separated from these. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Just one verse of this will do. As a result of the 3 times merits of myself and others, may bodhicitta, from which the happiness of all sentient beings comes, be generated in the minds of self and other sentient beings without delay, even for 1 second, and that which has been generated, may it increase. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, long life prayer, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lamsa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serves as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the 3 jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, Mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please, please live long. Okay, everyone. So now we can go to bed with a happy mind. Thank you so much, everybody. Nice to see you, Venerable Palmo. Looking very good. Hello, Anthony. Okay, bye-bye, Maria. Bye, Victor.